Hi, and welcome to Bradford Literature Festival. My name's Mya-Rose Craig, and I'm a 19-year-old environmental activist and campaigner. And I'm now also an author too. I've got a book coming out in August called We Have a Dream, which I'm extremely excited about. As a young activist, something that I've become super aware of is the fact that we keep on hearing about the same names over and over again. And even though people like Greta Thunberg are fantastic, I was very aware that there are so many people all around the world doing amazing things. I also think it's really easy to feel, especially as a kid, that people don't really want to listen to you, or what you care about doesn't really matter. And so with my book, We Had a Dream, what I really wanted to do was go out and to find 30 people's stories from all over the world, particularly people of colour, people from Indigenous backgrounds, and to just create a book full of hope. There's so much negativity surrounding us within the environmental space, within just watching the news in general. And I feel like so many people are doing great things out there, and I really wanted to talk about them. So as a kid, we're constantly being told that our voices don't matter as much as adults. And I think there are so many people out there constantly proving that wrong. And so I felt incredibly lucky to be able to interview these 30 people from around the world. And all of them had such different stories, and they were all using their passions in different ways. But the common theme was that they were all young. So there was a little girl from China called Ariel who just loved birds. And when she found out how birds were being harmed within conservation, within zoos, she decided that she wanted to start a blog, and people started reading it, and she ended up accidentally starting a massive campaign. Or a boy called Lysane from Kenya, who loves football and was also really worried about deforestation. So he decided that he would combine his two loves, and he would start a campaign where every time he scored a goal while playing football, he would plant 11 trees with the local forest, and he's now linked up with the government. There is a girl called Helena Gwalinga who has come from a village in Ecuador and who just cares so much about her family and her land and how they're losing everything because of climate change and deforestation. And she started to create a passionate global movement to try and save these spaces. So I think one thing that I really want to convey in the book is that anyone, no matter how old or young, can go out and change the world if they really do care and they really do want to. One of the most exciting things about the book is that it is also beautifully illustrated. I myself am not an artist, so I've gone and got myself one, and every single one of these activists has had a beautiful illustrated portrait of themselves done within the book. And I think it's so beautiful, it's so exciting. But one of the things I really wanted for this book is for it to be readable. It's so meant for young kids to read and for it to be inspirational, and I didn't want it to be just made for grown-ups. So one of the things that was really important to me was making sure that kids from age 7 or 8 upwards are able to read this book and really enjoy it. It's the inspiration that I think really matters over and over again, which is why I keep mentioning it. I think it's so, so important. You might think that your kids don't know or care very much about environmental issues, but there have been studies done recently showing that in the UK at least, 4 out of 5 kids are suffering with eco-anxiety in some shape or form. This is a young generation that is genuinely concerned about the state of our planet and the future of the planet. And so I think empowering them to make change, to show them that they can make a difference, that this isn't an impossible situation, is so, so important going forwards. We've seen that in the past few years with global campaigns led by young people, and that's what we're trying to encourage in the next younger generation. I think this is such an important book. I personally have become so hopeful about the future of the environmental movement, the future of the planet after writing it and meeting all of these amazing young people. And I think it's that feeling of hope that I really want to pass on to everyone else who reads it. Another girl that I loved talking to was called Autumn Peltier, and she was from Canada. And the reason that she became an activist wasn't actually because of environmental concerns, but because she was from an Indigenous community who was struggling because they didn't have any access to clean water, which was also sacred to her culture. So when she was 8 years old, she decided that she wanted to make things better and she wanted to create change. And she went out there and she did it. And she's been doing that for over 10 years now, and she's fantastic. One of the amazing scientists that I talked to was a man called Sultan, who's from Bangladesh, where my family's from. He's extremely passionate about conservation and saving animals, especially sea turtles. And he's been doing research down in a place called Sanadia Island, which is amazing for animals in the south of Bangladesh. But he's worried because sea levels are rising and they might lose it. He's been doing fantastic scientific research for nearly 5 years now. Without any proper equipment, he doesn't even have a pair of binoculars. But again, it's his passion and his love of wildlife that's pushing him through, and has been since he was a teenager. I think stories like these are going to be so essential going forwards. The book's available for pre-order on my website, birdgirluk.com. Thank you for watching.